Hey campers, my name is Victoria from Sunrise Day Camp and I'm here to inspire you to use your creative mind. As we all know, this week's theme is lights, camera, action. So today I decided that you would be the illustrator of a flip book animation. Before we get started, let's see what the inspirational easel has to say. Imagine all the things that we could be in this world, like a flip book animator. Back before they used CGI and different editing tools on our computers and laptops, the film industry was made through sketches. And in these sketches, it was one picture at a time. So one frame, a character might be drawn like this, and then here, and so on. And when you put those motions together, it would create the film. Examples like this would be Snow White, Bambi, and all the older Disney films. Today, we're going to be learning how to do those with simple steps and then creating it into one big masterpiece. An example of a simple step would be this flip book animation here. This one's very simple with a stick figure doing a cartwheel. If you could look here on the bottom right corner, we have a little stick figure man who slowly does a cartwheel. So to create your own version of this, all you're going to need is a blank book with blank pages. Maybe you even have sticky notes. Those work perfectly because there's a large stack of sticky notes and there's endless numbers of pages. You are of course going to need a pencil to sketch out your pages one by one and a pen to darken up your artwork. Now if you would like, I'm going to see if we can make our art a little more detailed than the stick figure. To do that, you're going to need something to color it. You could use crayons, markers, colored pencils, or if you really want to get fancy, feel free to use paint. Today I'm going to be using a little bit of the pen, the pencil, crayons, and markers. So hit pause, grab all of your supplies, and then we're going to get started. Now that you've gathered all of your supplies, it's time to begin. As you can see, I decided to use a blank little notebook, and every single page is completely empty. So I'm going to start with the most bottom page and create my primary design. For this, I want to do something based on sunrise. So we're going to make a sun rising. I have my pencil here, and I'm going to make it by the beach. So I'm going to have my horizon somewhere about 1/3 of the way down. And this is going to be where the water is. I'm going to have a little land going up here, and the water is going to meet down here by the sand. So this is just my rough sketch of that, and the sun is going to rise from somewhere around here. But this is our first step, so let's start one section at a time, and we're going to start with our focus being the water. I want my water to move like a natural tide. So I'm going to take my black marker. I'm going to trace my pencil linings of the horizon. Trace my little hill area over here, a little island in the background, and trace where the water meets the sand. I use this marker, or you could use a pen or a pencil, so when I go to my next page, it's easier to see where to trace from. So my horizon is here. The other horizon is somewhere, once again, 1/3 of the way through. I'm going to connect my horizon, add my little island, and this part I don't have to worry since the water's moving. I'm just going to make the waves however they go. This way, when it goes page to page, it looks like the tide is moving in and out. The waves are going to be don't have to be so detailed because as we flip through quickly, it's kind of just going to naturally look like moving water. If our horizon isn't consistent, that's okay, as long as we have it just about the same distance from the bottom of the page. Now we're going to go to our next page and do the same thing. Our horizon, our island, and our water, however you'd like. So you're going to continue these steps all the way to your last page. Once you've completed that, we're going to get back together and then we're going to start with the sunrise. Okay, so now that we've finished our steps, our frames should look something like this. So now before we start doing the sunrise, we're going to do clouds. This way we have the clouds in front of the sun and it has that natural movement. So again, we're going to go back to the first page, right here. And we're going to take our pencil and decide where we want our clouds to mainly start. So let's have some down here. I'm going to have longer, streakier clouds to give a little bit of an effect when I color them in. I don't want too many clouds, but I want enough to give that animation feel. Okay. Let's do one more up here. Now, clouds tend to move in one direction. We can have them moving up, down, or side to side. I'm going to have my clouds moving to the left as our sun rises. So I'm going to take my marker again and trace the clouds that I just created. Your clouds do not have to look exactly like mine. Maybe you want fluffier clouds, maybe you don't want any clouds at all. That's all going to be up to you. This is your version of the beach sunrise. So now that I have this step ready, I'm going to go to my next page, fold my paper over. Now it's harder for you guys to see through our camera, but I can see where my clouds are. So I'm going to trace my clouds, but this time I'm going to kind of just move them more to the left. So for example, we have this little cloud here with 1, 2, 3, 4 little rows. And he starts on this side. I'm going to move him a little more to the left now. So it's very slight, but I have him shifting to the left. I'm going to do that the same with this one. The point of this one somewhere going to be over here. So let's bring him closer this way. Okay. And just make sure I'm staying consistent with the shape of the clouds. And what's nice is in real life, as clouds move, they do tend to change in shape. So if your clouds don't look the same in shape as they move along your sky, that is okay. That's actually more natural and more realistic. So we're just going to continue to do this. Again, you don't have to do clouds. I'm going to have this guy moved over more. Have the next one, have it kind of disappear slowly. And this guy's gonna be more to the left. And of course, maybe you don't even want your clouds to move. Maybe your sunrise moves a lot faster. So we're gonna go to the next page again, make sure it is the next page, and now we're gonna have them continue to move. So again, see how this one over here is starting to make its way out? It's going to probably end up somewhere just being this little guy. And then since these clouds are going to be disappearing and this part will soon be blank, I'm just going to bring new clouds into our animation. So we're going to continue these steps once again all the way to the end, and once you finish doing that, we're going to cut back together and we're going to start doing the sun. After sun, of course, we're going to color, and I'm going to show you how to make that transition of coloring changes in the sky. So now that you finished that step, yours should look something like this. I decided that as I would flip through, my sky would start to lose some of the clouds and just become sun. So you can see I started off with the many clouds I had at the beginning. And as the sky moved, I had one cloud kind of make its way across, and that was going to be the last cloud for the day. Now we're going to go back to that first page that we start on every single step, and we're going to begin with our sun. So it's going to start smaller around here. I'm going to take our marker once we're happy with what we've started for our sunrise. A little boop. And we're going to slowly make it larger. So it's somewhere in the middle here. we're gonna make it rise a little more. Make sure it's nice and centered to where it has been. And while it doesn't have to be the exact spot, the goal is to make sure that it's not getting small, big, but just getting larger page by page. Once you're doing all of these steps to wherever you want your sun to be, we're going to meet together and then we're going to learn how to color and blend and have the sky change colors as the sun rises. So now that we finished this step, it should look something like this. You have your sun by the horizon, making its way up into the sky. Ooh. And slowly but surely, even making its way so high into the sky that it comes out of the frame. So now we are all going to start painting or coloring the sand. For my sand, I want my sand to be a nice bright yellow, so I'm going to use my yellow marker and start coloring the sand first. Your sand can be pink, it can be blue, it can be whatever color you wish your sand to be. So since our skies are going to be changing color with the sunrise, we're just going to start with the sand now, color all of that, hit pause, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how we're going to do the rest of the details. So now that we've finished this step, it should look something like this. Now we're going to begin coloring our sun and the land by the water. So I'm going to have my sun be the same yellow that my sand is, and I want my island to be a pretty deep green. I'm going to be using a crayon for that one. So we're going to color in our sun, whatever color you choose to make your sun. And if you chose to make an island like mine, you can use green, purple, pink, whatever color you would like your island to be. And we're going to color those in for all of the pages as well once again. And then we're going to meet so we can do the water and then the sky. So now that we're finished making our sand yellow, our land green, and our sun yellow, it's time to paint or color in our water blue. What's important with this step is leaving white gaps in between the blue water. This way we can pretend as we color later our skies, we're going to take color from our skies and put it into our water since the water reflects. A gap that is also important is as the sun's rising, we're going to want a gap for that yellow reflection from the sun. So we put a little bit of blue in between, but later we're going to be putting yellow here, some pinks in the water, purples, whatever colors you're going to have in your water from your sunrise. So we're going to use our crayons, pencils, or markers and leave little white gaps and basically just do the same thing for each step. So again, we're going to continue doing this. And if you'd like, when you get to the step that the sun is over the water, somewhere in the middle of the sky, it probably wouldn't be pink anymore. So when you color in your water blue, right, you don't have to leave any gaps. You can just have it completely blue, maybe have some different shades of blue in here. And then your sky can start to be blue at this point, because somewhere when the sun's around this point in your sky, it is likely that your sky is no longer pink from the sunrise, and your sky will match the water and be a blue. And if you want it so the sky doesn't blend so much with your water, you can make your water a little bit darker and your sky a little bit lighter. So from this point on, all of my pages are going to have the dark blue water and a light blue sky, and all of the pages earlier on are going to have the blue water with the white gaps. So you're just going to continue these steps, hit pause, and once you're done with those steps, we'll come back and we're going to do the color of our sky and the reflection in the water. So now that we've finished coloring in our waters and the white gaps, as well as our blue water and the blue sky, it's time to start painting the pink and purples from the sunrise. So we're going to work our way to our first page once again, and we're going to take the yellow and fill in the gaps of white in our water that are closest to the sun. This is going to give the effect that it's the reflection of the sun rising in the water. that step we're going to want to do first for all of our pages. And as the sun makes its way off of the horizon, we can stop that step. And we're going to start making our skies have different combinations of purples, pinks, and oranges. This one is kind of going to be freehand. We're going to have a little bit of orange in the white gaps, just in random placements. And the same thing is going to go for our sky. So we're going to do a little bit of orange here. Keep our clouds white for now until the last step. Water here, the orange sky here. I'm going to go to the next page. Again, freehand, just a little bit of orange wherever you would like. Make sure some of that is in our water, so it reflects from the sunrise. And you're going to continue that for all of the pages that still have a blank white sky. Now there's going to be one step, if you just follow along with me, where the clouds slowly begin to fade color and turn white, and the sky slowly fades into blue. So you're going to basically continue the steps that I've showed you on these two pages. When you're going to want to stop doing this step is somewhere around, so we have our blue sky starts here. When your sun touches just the base of the water is when we're going to start changing our colors. So everything before this page, I'll put a little pink on the last one. When your sun touches the water here on the horizon is when we're going to start changing our color patterns. So from every page before that, we're going to basically keep these steps aligned and go all the way up to here. Again, we're going to stop that step on this page. So you guys can continue coloring, feel free to pause and then come back and we'll go through the next steps. So once you finish all of those steps together, it should look something like this. So once we're all done creating our projects, I'd like to see your interpretation of this project on our Blooms page. I'm excited to see how I inspired your creative mind, and I can't wait to do more with you guys next time. See ya!
If you're not watching this on the Sunrise Studios app, well, why not? You can download the Sunrise Studios app on your phone or tablet from your app store, and you can watch all of our virtual camp videos the moment they're released. You can also find Sunrise Studios on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, or you can watch it on our Sunrise Association YouTube channel. See you soon!